Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be talking about the moon, and the moon is going to be coming from the Melanated Tarot Deck. I've talked about this in my other videos. Highly recommend this deck. It's the tarot, basically the Rider-Waite tarot with everyone in the deck being melanated, so awesome deck. Alright, so the moon. Another beautiful card that comes from this deck. It's pretty much like the Rider-Waite deck with the symbology. If you look here, it has a dog and a wolf. And to me, the dog represents, of course, man's best friend. He's the domesticated animal. He represents protection. He represents loyalty. And then the wolf represents the untamed. It represents the wild. It represents people who um, are associated with packs, and that's not necessarily a negative thing. It can be a negative thing. When you think of a pack of wolves, it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It could be a pack of your friends, people who think like yourself. So it can kind of go both ways. But we have here the tamed and the untamed with the dog and the wolf. And this card, one of the uh, zodiac signs that this is associated with is Cancer. So you have here the crab coming out of the waters. I'll call it the waters of none, or the primordial waters. And that's us crawling out of the waters of none and crawling into the earth. If you study evolution, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And in the background here, we have two pillars, which represent going beyond your necessary boundaries that you have in your life. And you have the moon with the face. So it's not the man on the moon, or the face of the man in the moon. It's the woman in the moon, because it's a female. Absolutely beautiful. And the thing I like about this card, it represents the full moon and the crescent moon. This is a card that represents the nighttime. It represents nighttime mysteries. It represents counsel. It represents your ancestors talking to you, because usually around 3 a.m. that's when we usually go into deep REM sleep. That is the time. To me, that's the witching hour. When I was growing up, I was told that 12 midnight was the witching hour. I don't think, maybe at one time it was the witching hour, but I don't consider that as being the witching hour now. I consider 3 a.m. or like 2:30, somewhere around that time, the twilight time. I think that's the true witching hour. That's the time when your ancestors talk to you. That's the time when you have the most profound dreams. And this card actually represents that. You have also waters here, which represents dreams. It represents the psychic mind. And this card is sort of like a bluish, purplish color, which is also associated with your psychic ability. Another sign in the zodiac that this is associated with is Pisces. So Pisces being the spiritual sign of the zodiac. And it's also, believe it or not, Pisces is also, it can be considered one of the most violent zodiac signs. If you study Greek mythology, you know what I mean. Because Pisces was not, or Poseidon rather, was not one of the gods that you want to mess with, because Poseidon had a temper. So Pisces is also known for that too. All you got to do is study the Odyssey, and you know what I mean. Piss off Poseidon, and you won't go home in about 20 years. So, but this card is a very deep card. Like I said, it represents counsel, and the counsel that happens at the night, the counsel that happens in your dreams. Let's see what else I have here. It also represents confusion, um, the moon, lunacy. So it does have a dark side associated with it. So it can be seen as that, but that is definitely something that we should overcome. Um, like I said, the crayfish coming out of the water, I call it the water of none, represents us. And if you look here, he's on a road. He's going somewhere at night. If you remember the movie, wasn't the Queen of the Damned? Actually, I think it was. No, it was Interview of a Vampire. Right when Louis got bit by the vampire, and right when he becomes a vampire, he kind of walks out in this cemetery, and everything comes to life for him. All the statues start moving, the eyes start moving in the statues, and all of nature, the nightlife, comes to life. And that's what this card represents. For some, that can be a very frightful experience, but to the initiated, to those who understand the moon, it can be a very joyous experience because it represents secrets. It represents secret knowledge. It represents things that you might overlook in the day. Things are revealed at night. And as I said before, the two pillars here represents boundaries, and you're going beyond your boundaries because you're following the I don't want to say yellow brick road because this looks kind of orange. So you're following the road to the unknown. Okay, just like as I said, this is a very deep card, and it's a card that I really love. And the deck that I'm using is the Melanated Classic Tarot. Get a chance to get it. This card is very good for meditation too. One of the things I was taught when I first got involved in the craft is to take each one of the tarot cards and meditate on it. And one interesting thing that my teacher taught me was to take the card, look at it, close your eyes, and describe in detail everything on the card. Then open your eyes and see what you did not see. So, very interesting. Alright, so look up this card. If you get it in a tarot reading, it can be multiple things. But this is basically what I associate this card with. Alright, until next time, love is the law, and as always, peace.